Hello, everybody. We're just going to give folks a few minutes to jump on into the webinar, and then we will get started. So just bear with us for a few minutes here. All right. Well, it looks like attendees have mostly joined at this point. So we're going to jump in and get started. I hope everyone is having a great day and a good afternoon today. Thanks for being here. It's hard to believe that we are almost at fall term starting, but we can't tell you how excited we are to get students back on campus and for the semester to begin. And the start of the term, it brings this energy and excitement. And even today, I was remarking the air feels different, the light looks different. Fall term is almost here, so we're excited to greet students on campus. And with that in mind, we wanted to talk a little bit about what our orientation activities will look like in August here, and then the Welcome to Michigan program. So we're going to give kind of a top level view of the programming that we have offered for you in August, and then we will go from there. So we'll move forward in the presentation. My name is Joe Colangelo. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm the Associate Director in the Office of New Student Programs. I work with our orientation programs. And I co-chair the Welcome to Michigan program with...
Hi, everybody. My name is Rigo Gutierrez. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I work in the Center for Campus Involvement. I work with campus events and really fun stuff that's happening. And like Joe, also really excited to have students back on campus and welcome all our new students.
All right, so we wanted to share a little bit about what the on-campus orientation activities will look like. And so students have gone through our online activities this summer, so virtual advising, our online orientation course, and the activities that we have planned for them in the next couple of weeks here will help complement that experience. So on August 19th, I just want to call out that students will get an email inviting them to their specific orientation sessions. These sessions will happen August 24th through 27th. And students will get that email, and they need to pay close attention to what track they're put in. They'll either be in the maize or the blue track. And then we will go through that day and greet them on campus with activities that will happen both in large group and small group here on campus. I want to note that for students living in university housing, these invitations will be based on their move-in assignment. So we will base them on in accordance with that move-in assignment, and that email on the 19th will indicate what day we're inviting you to come to our program. I also wanted to note that there are some students who may be in other programs that have other competing demands. So you may be in a Michigan Learning Community or another activity where you have other schedules. We've reached out to those communities, and we're basing your invitation around the requirements that you may have for your MLC or other activity that we know about. So moral of the story on this slide is please pay attention, students, to your email on August 19th. That invitation is coming out, and then we will spend a little bit of time talking about what the day will look like. So the orientation days will all be the same. You're not coming to an event on the 24th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's a repetition. You're only coming to one of those days. On that day, you'll spend about 6 hours with our team. We will have a campus resource fair that will repeat each day. That'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. where students can drop in and get to know different offices, resources, and services that are available on campus. And then your orientation session will really begin with our student welcome session. That'll be a time where we'll go over the content for the day. We'll highlight important resources and activities, go over campus values, and then get to know our orientation leaders and other new students. From there, we will break into our small group discussion. So we'll move into a discussion with about 20 to 25 other students. And in that session, you'll talk about the transition to college, go over some key strategies that work for your orientation leader, get to know other new students in a small group. Then you're also going to have lunch with those students. And then in the afternoon, we will have rotating conference style sessions that'll have interest-based sessions that you can choose to attend. There'll be about 25 minutes, and they will rotate. And these topics could range from moving to the Midwest for folks that are coming from the coast or from somewhere maybe a little warmer. We're concerned about winter and what that might look like. It might be about strategies and tips for being successful in the classroom, learning about the library, wellness activities, etc. So lots of different options that you can choose from and that you'll be able to attend. And we know that some of you may be very familiar with campus. We know that some of you may be stepping foot on campus for the very first time in August here. So what we're going to do is we will offer optional campus tours every day, the 24th, 5th, 6th, and 7th of August from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll be leaving every 15 minutes, and we will have an opportunity for you to sign up for those campus tours. There'll be about a 70-minute walking tour of our central campus, and that'll be for both students and for parents. And that's a good transition, as I'll talk a little bit about parent opportunities. So we'll also have recurring programming the 24th through the 27th for parents and family members. And we encourage you to stop by as you are able, because we know that it's a hectic time moving. You might have things you need to get for the room. You may need to run to Target or Meijer or do things like that. You might be building a loft in the room with the bed. You might be saying goodbyes or running to the MDEM, those sort of things. So our program for parents will repeat every day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The same program will repeat the 24th through the 27th, and you are welcome to attend any day as you see fit or as you're able. They're drop-in. You don't need to register ahead of time. The only thing that we will ask you to register for, again, is that campus tour, just so we can kind of keep it to a small group so we can move through buildings and things in an easy fashion. But again, each day we're going to repeat this program, and you are welcome to attend whatever one makes the most sense for you and your family. I'm going to highlight a little bit about these activities that we have for parents. So the resource fair is the same resource fair as the student. You are welcome to go through that with your student or on your own, where you can learn more about campus resources, pick up some free swag, and get to know some of the offices here on campus. And then after that, the Wolverine Family Connections Room, that's really a space just for parent and family members. You can stop by for refreshments, to get to know some of our staff, hear remarks from the Division of Student Life, and then enter our raffle and get to know our staff here on campus as well as our student staff, and have some questions answered and meet other new families. From there, we'll have a key conversation session. I will call out that this is a repetition of a webinar that we had done this summer. If you didn't have a chance to see that webinar, we will have that in person as well. And this is a session where we'll go through the key topics around transition for new students and family members from experts across campus to share advice, approaches, strategies, and the ways that U of M is really here to help support new students and their family members. And then from there, we'll have a session on the University Health Service and all of the things that they offer to students on campus, because we know that is top of mind for parents and family members. Again, there is also a webinar on this content if you would like to look back on that as well, if you're not able to attend at that time. And then we'll have a facilitated student experience panel. So we'll have some of our returning students come and sit on a panel so you can ask questions about what the internship search process was like, how they found housing in their second year, what you may be interested in as a parent or family member from the lived experience of a current student. And that is the way that the orientation in-person activities will process, and they're going to dovetail right into the Welcome to Michigan program. And the Welcome to Michigan program is a cross-campus collaboration that I'm going to pass it off to Rigo to talk about.
Yeah, so thank you, Joe. So Welcome happens, actually the beginning part of Welcome programming happens at the same time as orientation. And so definitely want to talk about that a little bit, but really the overarching goal of Welcome is to help you have a meaningful and smooth transition to college. And so knowing that many of you are joining us from places near and far, we want to help you feel connected and feel at home at the University of Michigan, knowing that you'll be here for the next few years. And so during Welcome, our goal is to help you get connected with other students, help you get connected to campus resources, find opportunities for involvement, and learning more about what you want your life here at Michigan to look like. And really overall making sure that the beginning of starting class and your experience here is fun, welcoming, and you feel that sense of belonging. And there's just so many exciting things happening that you don't want to miss. And so there's a series of anchor events, which are sort of the larger scale events where we expect 1,000+ students, but there's also many other events that are happening during those first 2 weeks that you'll want to learn more about. And so I'm going to go over the schedule with all of you. Joe and I will go over the schedule, and then at the very end, we're going to let you know where you can find more information about each of these programs. So don't want anybody feeling overwhelmed if you feel like you're not getting all the information. We're going to point you in the right direction so that you're able to know where to find info about this. So we want to go to the next slide. Alrighty, so starting on the 24th and 25th, we have movie nights happening. So that's Wednesday and Thursday. And so there's going to be a movie night happening at the Grove and the campus diag. So whether you're on North Campus or Central Campus, you'll have the option for a movie night. And so we're doing a screening of Lightyear, the new Pixar movie that came out on one of those nights. And then on the other night, we're going to show the latest Spider-Man movie. And so no matter which campus you're at, you're going to be able to enjoy those for both nights. So join us at the Grove or the Diag. And then on the 26th, we have Artscapade. And so that's a really big introduction to UMA, so the Museum Michigan of Art, sorry. Not trying to use too many acronyms here. But that's right across the Michigan Union. A really great way to learn more about the museum. They'll have lots of activities, giveaways, different food, and a great way for you to enjoy some art displays that we'll be having at that event. On the 27th, we have our Go North block party. And so we have slip and slides on North Campus. You're going to be able to stop by Pierpont Commons and enjoy some free samples from some vendors that we have at Pierpont. And so lots of other fun activities, but be sure to be ready to get some water on you. So big note there. And then that same day in the evening, we'll have Escapade here at the Union. We'll be having a dance party, dueling pianos. We'll be having a roller rink, as you see in this background photo. So we'll be having that here in the Union. So that's really exciting. Of course, snacks for you and giveaways and other fun happening at the Union that night.
All right, then I'm going to talk a little bit about August 28th. And Sunday the 28th is really one of the biggest days for programming for our campus as we think about the Welcome to Michigan program. First and foremost, we will get that event started in the afternoon with our Block M class photo. And this is where you and thousands of other of your new best friends and Wolverines will form the shape of the Block M on L Bell Field, one of our rec sports facilities. Then we'll have a drone fly over and take a class photo, and that class photo will be put up in the Michigan Union, and will stay there for your 4 years here on campus. And then directly from there, students will head to New Student Convocation. So New Student Convocation is at Chrysler Arena, Chrysler Center. I do want to call out one caveat here. We have 2 Chrysler Centers on campus. We are looking for you to go to the Chrysler Center athletic facility on South Campus, not Chrysler like the car on North Campus. It can be a little confusing, but we'll get you there. So at this event, this is really the bookend to commencement. When you think about this event, it is an academic ceremony that opens our academic year. So we will have remarks from the provost and the president, CSG president, among others, as well as some student performances, and that really kicks off the program. We'll be working really closely for those living in residence life and university housing. RAs will help direct you down to these events. We'll have defined walking routes and bus transportation for folks from North Campus to get down to this event. And that event will happen between 4:30 and 5:30, and then the entire class will move back up to Central Campus to the Diag for a class picnic. And that is a time for you to be in community with other new students, get to know other folks, enjoy the evening, and then we will transition into our final event for the night, which is Afterglow, and Rigo will talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Afterglow, Central Campus Diag. So after the picnic, stick around, it's all in the same area. We will have a silent disco. And so what that is basically you'll get a set of headphones with a bunch of other students that will be there. And we have multiple DJs, and you can pick which channel you want to listen to. And so really fun event after the picnic. Alrighty. Sorry. I'm doing this one too. So August 29th is the first day of class. Yay. So we have an Ask Me info station. So those are happening all across campus. You'll see the tents. If you need any help, any wayfinding, you don't know where to find your class, you have general questions about campus, those are really good stations to find and stop and ask anything that you may need for those first couple of days. And so we'll have the Ask Me stations on the 29th and the 30th. And so they'll be on North Campus and Central Campus. And then on the first day of class, the library is hosting Party for Your Mind. So that's going to be at Shapiro Library. They're going to have free pizza. So free pizza on your first day of class. Who wouldn't want that? I want that. They're going to have free giveaways. They're going to introduce you to how to navigate the different resources available at the library. And they'll also have giant Jenga and some other lawn activities happening. And then Festival North on August 30th is our first involvement fair, essentially. And so that's happening on North Campus at the Grove. And so if you're looking to be involved in organizations, this is one opportunity to meet directly with members of organizations that are recruiting new members, and a great time for you to explore what that looks like. And so the first one happens on North Campus. There's another festival happening on Central Campus later in the week, and I'll get to that in a second.
All right. So on Wednesday, the 31st, I just want to highlight our Meyer Back to College event. So this is a longstanding partnership that we've had with Meyer. For those that aren't from the Midwest, Meyer is kind of like a super target that tends to be a Midwest chain. So what that event is, we will bus students from campus to the store. They'll have events, games, activities, discounts. It's a perfect opportunity for you to spend some time with other new students, but also pick up anything that you may have forgotten or that you might need to get, since most students will not have a car here, and that way you don't need to take traditional public transportation. There will be a shuttle right from campus that'll get you over there for any of those last minute items that you might need. And then Rigo's going to talk a little bit about the other half of Festival.
Yeah, so Festival Central, so this one has 2 rotations, and so you don't want to just go for the beginning and then leave. You want to definitely stick around for the second rotation too. And so the first set of organizations are going to be there between 2:30 and 5, and the second set will be there from 6 to 8. And so once again, if you're looking to be involved on campus, you're looking for different organizations, that is a great opportunity to meet directly with the students that are in those organizations, that can give you direct information about how to get involved. There's also going to be vendors from across Ann Arbor giving out free samples. There's going to be lots of free swag, music, entertainment. So you definitely want to be at Festival. It's one of our largest events of the year. And then that same evening, we have the athletics pep rally. So the doors open at 7 p.m. And so at that event, you can expect, it's another great opportunity to go into the stadium. And really outside of games, there's not really that many opportunities for you to just casually wander into the stadium. And so definitely take advantage of this opportunity. And so there's going to be appearances by some of our athletes, our coaches, and again, lots of giveaways and a great way to learn more about athletics on campus. Yeah. On September 2nd, which is a Friday, we also have Rec Sports Expo, and so that's 3 to 6 at the Palmer Field tennis courts. And again, I know that I'm throwing out a lot of different locations. We'll talk about how to find more information about where all these events are in a little bit. But at the Rec Sports Expo, it's a really great opportunity if you want to learn more about rec sports, about the different club sports that we have on campus. There's going to be outdoor activities, free treats, t-shirts. So if that's an area of interest that you have, a Rec Sports Expo is a really good opportunity to learn more about intramural sports as well. And then September 1st, a home football game. So U of M versus Colorado State. That's going to be at noon. This event is not free. You do have to purchase a ticket, but it is going to be it's a big occasion, just being our first football game of the season. So it's going to be an exciting day. And then following our hopeful victory, you can go to Go Blue Mix, which is our first late night program of the year. So that's 8 p.m. to midnight at Ingalls Mall. We'll have a giant zip line. There's going to be mechanical football. We're going to have different games and giveaways, and don't want to spoil too many of the surprises, but it's going to be a really great event to have after the game.
All right, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the wrap up to our anchor programming. So on September the 4th is Party in the Park. And what that is an opportunity for students who may be living in the local community or maybe in the local neighborhood to come together, get to know one another. There'll be food trucks, there'll be lawn games, activities to get to know the Beyond the Diag program, which really represents students that live in the local community and local area as a way to form community with others who may be living in the same neighborhoods as you are in the Ann Arbor community. And then we'll have Pride Outside. So Pride Outside is a great way to get connected to the LGBTQIA events and communities that will be here on campus. So we're going to have connected student organizations, offices, and community organizations will be there. There's a drag show, there's free shirts, It's a fun opportunity for students to come out and get connected to the event. And then picture yourself at Michigan on September 4th as well. You can join fraternity and sorority life for this event. It's an immersive selfie exhibit, a museum. There'll be prizes, there'll be snacks, there'll be giveaways, and there's a way that you can connect to fraternity and sorority life if that's something you are interested in moving forward. And then on September 5th, Labor Day, after class bash is put on by the Residence Hall Association. It's a way to kind of sit back, kick your feet up a little bit, and celebrate making it through your first week of class at U of M. There'll be activities, food, music, lots of just kind of relaxed fun on the holiday when everybody kind of takes a little bit of a breather after your first week of classes. And that will bring our anchor programming to a close. I do want to call out that Rigo and I have just gone through all of what we call anchor programming. So when we think about these are events that we will see hundreds or thousands of students at. That being said, there are hundreds of other events that are smaller happening in different departments, schools or colleges, smaller museums, the community that are happening at this time. And how do you find out about those? So the real answer to that is that we need to pay close attention to your email. In that invitation for your orientation activities, we will have a link indicating how you can download our Welcome to Michigan mobile app. That mobile app will have all of the orientation schedule for those activities, and then all of the anchor programs that we just went through, in addition to hundreds of other events and activities that are happening on campus. It's a great way to get connected to other communities, departments, and activities that may be more of interest to you. We, again, just surfaced the real highlights and the larger scale events, but there is a lot going on. That app is currently having the final touches put on it, and all that content will be live by the 19th. So you'll have all that information at your fingertips. You'll be able to see everything that's going on. The app is really helpful. It'll have wayfinding, navigation. You can create a custom schedule in there, so you can add events to your individual schedule, so you can kind of see what you want to attend. And we encourage you to kind of take a look at that, think about what you want to engage in. One of the real difficulties when you join the community at the start of the year is there is so much to do. Sometimes you can't do it all. So finding an opportunity to do some of things and what you might not be able to make it to is a little challenging. But what we want to do is create a lot of opportunities for students to connect with one another, to connect with our community around different interest points. You might be really into rec sports and go to the Rec Sports Expo. You might be really into art and want to go to Artscapade. And we want to create opportunities for students who have different interests to be able to explore our community and what we have to offer. It's the tip of the iceberg. The Welcome to Michigan program is really meant to be a program that builds your foundation, exposes you to lots of different offices, resources, and areas of the university. So in the coming weeks, in the start of the semester, you can choose to engage in different areas and connect even further with our community. So I do want to call out, while students are going to be getting that email on August 19th, parents and family members that are here, you'll get an email on the 21st that'll have all of your instructions on how to download the app. You're going to use the same one. Your schedule and parent activities will be in there as well. While most of these anchor events that we went through are for students only, there's a couple of things that I want to call out for parents and family members. We often get questions about, can parent and family members go to convocation? You are, of course, welcome to come to that ceremony. We would just ask that you find your way there. There's plenty of parking near Chrysler Arena. You're able to come on into the ceremony. And then otherwise, most of the activities do tend to be student focused, and students are off meeting with their new floor mates, classmates, and new friends. So we encourage you all to soak up these last days of summer. School's going to be here before you know it, and we're excited to welcome you to campus. And with that, we're going to kind of wrap up the presentation, and we'll be here. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A, and we will get to the top level questions as we go through. But we really appreciate you making time to spend your afternoon with us. It's clear people are interested and excited to join us here on campus. And on behalf of the university, we are so excited to get you here. Thanks again, and go Blue. And we're just going to work through the Q&A here. So I will pull that up. All right. So Rigo, here's a question. Are the same clubs at the North and Central Campus Festival?
Yeah, so they're not the same clubs. So it's basically 3 different rotations. So you could do it's basically 1 at North and then 2 at Central. So it'll be 3 different sets of organizations. Yep.
Yeah, so a question came in, do classes start on 8/29 or 9/5? 8/29. We used to start after Labor Day. A long time ago, we changed that schedule. We now start pre-Labor Day, so 8/29, first day of classes. There's a question
So
here, are there orientation events or welcome events for the College of Engineering? Not just the College of Engineering, but different schools and colleges will have different activities that may be college or school specific. For the College of Engineering, they do tend to do events, but more so in the first week of classes. I don't have their schedule right at my fingertips right now, but they do tend to do some events in that first week of classes once we're actually into the class rotation. You will see that a lot of our North Campus units tend to use the Grove area and the North Campus Diag as a real activated space at the start of the term. Nice weather, it's a great place to be, and you'll see a lot of activities that are out there. And then all of our schools and colleges will have some activities going on. So whether you're in LSA, whether you're in the Ross School of Business, they will have activities, and those will be listed in our app as well.
yeah, Joe, the other thing I would add for that too is like a good tip for finding information for specific colleges or areas is seeking their social media. And so lots of colleges have their own social media that they have. So it's also a great way to find more information about events that they may be having.
Yeah, we got a question that says, where can I get more information about each event that was on our presentation? The app is going to be the best place to do that. So on the 19th, you're going to get that email that'll say how to download the app, and you'll be able to download that. And then in each listing of every single event, there'll be a description, there'll be the location, there'll be the date, time, and place. So you'll be able to find out what's going on with each one. And then there'll also be campus resources or other offices connected to that event that you can connect through the app. So that's the best place for information and more specifics. And again, that'll be coming out at the end of next week.
Yeah, one of the activities says that, I'm coming from out of state. I don't know a lot of people on campus who will be first year students. Will most students go to the activities with existing friends? And I think the answer is no. That is the whole point of having these events. We want to introduce you to new students. We want you to meet other people. And so, no, these events are designed for you to come and meet other people.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say, we do see thousands of students attend events. The vast majority of our class is at new student convocation. We will fill up the basketball arena. So please come on down. If you're new and you don't have friends, that's the whole point, like Rigo had said here. The RAs
Our
will
half of our
gather.
students out of state too.
Yes, yeah. So we will
Half
see
of our
about
students are
50%
out of
of
state.
our population is
Yeah,
coming from out of
so-
state. RAs will collect the members of their floor. If you're living in university housing, they will bring you down to that first day or the event on August 28th. That's a big one where they'll help you get to. So yeah, please come. It's an opportunity for you to meet new people, and you don't need to just come with people that you may know. I do see a handful of questions in here about the dining plan and when that begins. I don't have that specific information at my fingertips, but I do know that that was addressed in our dining webinar. If you refer back to the Getting to Know Michigan webpage, that is in the dining webinar or at dining.umich.edu, you'll be able to find that information. All right. Well, we'll give it just a couple more minutes here and see if any other questions come in. There's a question about any apps that we might recommend for finding your way on campus. There's a couple things that I would say. The app that'll have your Welcome to Michigan content in there, that will have integrated Google Maps, so you'll be able to see where all the events are. And then there's also a Michigan app that sort of focuses just on the campus experience. So there'll be dining hall menus, there's bus information, and there's a map in there as well. Yeah. There's another question that said, are these events free? Everything but the football game that we mentioned is free. There is no cost for any of these events. They're supported already. There's no fee for attending any of them. Okay, there's a question that says, how understanding are professors of all these activities and things going on in the first 2 weeks of class for first year students? I would say very understanding. Faculty members know as the semester begins, the students have a lot going on. So as you are starting your term, it's a community that understands that we all come to life at the same time. So as you think about your courses and how things will fold out, you're going to be busy your first couple of weeks, but most classes will ramp up slowly. You're not going to have an instant exam or an instant quiz on things. Faculty members are understanding, especially if students coming into this community and finding footing. And I'd encourage you, if you're a new student, to talk to those faculty members, get to know them, start to build those relationships right from the get-go. And if you're struggling with something, or if you're saying, hey, I'm overwhelmed because there's so much going on, the faculty members can be some of the people that you have the best relationship with, and they can be an ally. But I would really encourage you to get to know them and build that relationship rather than just kind of waiting for them to react to how busy you are or what might be happening in your life. Be proactive, get to know them. They're here for you.
Yeah, I'll also say the times for events and activities. There's so many different options. So there's evening events, daytime events, a lot of stuff happening on the weekend. And so we're really mindful of people's class schedules as we designed the times for these events.
Someone said they missed the first couple of minutes. How do you sign up for the campus tours? Those will come out in those emails on the 19th and the 19th and the 21st. It'll just be a link where you'll just go and sign up, and you can pick whichever time might work for you. But that will be explained in those emails that'll come out next week and the week thereafter. All right. There are some questions around move-in that are really specific that unfortunately, I don't have the answer exactly to the move-in questions, but there is a move-in FAQ. If you go to housing.umich.edu and type in move-in, there's a top 10 questions list there that'll go over what that experience looks like. But I'm sorry, I can't speak to the exact specifics of how many vehicles and things like that right now. All right, and then somebody had asked if we should order books ahead of time and how. So we are partnered with Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is our official campus bookstore. They have 2 locations, one in the Michigan Union and one in Pierpont Commons on North Campus. You are able to actually look in your course list. When you've signed up for courses in your backpack, you'll be able to see what books are there. You can order directly from them. And then pick up on campus. That's an option. You can also choose to search and buy books online if you would like to. In terms of buying them ahead of time, that's a personal decision that you'll need to make. I would say that a lot of students do order them and do the pickup process. Just know, if you're kind of thinking about the college bookstore that Rigo and I kind of went to when we were in college, doesn't really exist here on campus anymore. There's not a search through the stacks and look for your number and do all that. It's all pre-order. You don't need to search and do that. It'll come kind of packaged for you for pickup on campus. And somebody said, if you want to rewatch this webinar, where do you go? So we will get this captioned and get this put up on the Getting to Know Michigan page at the Campus Information Center website. It will also be on the Student Life YouTube channel, and it'll be up in the coming days here. And you'll be able to learn more information about the events and activities that are going on. And we hope you have found this helpful and that you're excited to get here. We are excited to see everybody here on campus real soon. All right.
Awesome.
And with that, I think we're going to say goodbye for the day, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend. And in just a few short days, we're going to be seeing you all here on campus, and we're excited to welcome you to Ann Arbor.
Goodbye and go blue.